right, it is Wednesday morning, and I just got back from a endocrinologist appointment that I have to go to every 3 months for my type 1 diabetes. For those of you who don't know, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when I was 26. It's youth onset diabetes is the other name for it, so it generally happens to kids. I was a little old than it normally gets diagnosed at, but there's plenty of people my age and even older who get type 1 diabetes. Most likely it was caused by a virus, but there's not a whole lot of known info of what causes it. But anyway, every 3 months I go and I get my A1C checked to make sure everything's doing okay, and then they download my insulin pump and they kind of analyze how I've been doing. Basically, I have to take insulin for everything I eat, as well as kind of manage my blood sugar level as I exercise, as I'm out in the heat. Temperature really affects my blood sugar. A lot of things affect my blood sugar, and farming certainly affects my blood sugar, especially the adrenaline of harvest. I drink a lot of caffeine. I don't get as much sleep. That all affects my blood sugar, so it's a constant battle. But my endocrinologist said I've been doing a really good job. My A1C is in the 6s. It's like 6.8, so that's as good as you want it. And so definitely an encouraging report. Like I said, haven't had any complications from diabetes. It's just a daily struggle, and that's the case for anybody. But I am back home now, turning into my driveway here, and I am going to go finish the field of double crop milo that I was planting last night. And I don't think we'll be able to plant the second field that we were going to, the original plan, because it's muddy, because that area over there got too much rain. The storm that hit when we got rained out when harvesting wheat, it's still very muddy. So I'm gonna get the one field finished, and then we'll see what the day brings from there. Meet the Peterson family. Our dad, the 3 Peterson brothers, and our families farm together in central Kansas. Our family farm started in 1882 and has been raising cattle and crops ever since. Please subscribe to this channel and give us a like and a comment if you enjoy the video. Alright, made it to the field. We got the Great Plains PL 5700 planter here and the fertilizer cart. I'm filling the cart up with fertilizer, and we'll get started. There's a neighbor doing the same thing as me on the horizon over there. I don't know if you can see him, he's kind of far away. But so this year we're doing something a little different, I think. We're only putting a couple fields to double crop milo and a couple fields to double crop beans, and then the rest of the wheat stubble is going to go to double crop forage, whether that's forage sorghum or millet or sedan, or like a cover crop blend to graze. And the reason that we're doing that is because if it rains this summer, we're hoping to pick the corn for grain, most of it anyway, and then we would chop the double crop forage for our silage, and that should give us plenty of feed. But you know, it seems crazy to plant forage when the grain prices are so high. But you don't know in Kansas if it is going to rain. You never know. And so that's kind of a insurance plan, I guess, is that if it doesn't rain, then we can chop our corn for silage. If it rains this summer, if we get above average rainfall, our double crop can yield just as good as our full season. It's worth the risk, but at the same time, you try to kind of mitigate the risk or spread out the risk by doing some different things. So that's why we're not double cropping every acre of our wheat to beans and milo, the grain crops. We want to spread our risk out a little bit, plant some forage, and then basically the corn will be a flex crop of we can either harvest it for grain or chop it for silage. The hope is that we'll harvest it for grain because the price is great and the corn looks awesome. I mean, at this point, unless it just doesn't rain for the rest of the summer at all, I think we're going to get a pretty good corn crop. All right, I finished planting that field, and then I drove the fertilizer semi back to the farm here. All right, I helped Dad go. I took him out to get the semi here. He loaded it full of bales earlier today, and then we've got another wheat field to double crop here once we get it sprayed. I think Kendal's drilling up on this field up here, and then this will be the last one. All right, Nathan is he's gonna take one of these chemical totes off here so that I can keep planting with the fertilizer trailer, but he can keep spraying, so that's the chemical tote he needs. There Kendal goes, planting that field. I think that's going to millet. All right, now I've got the M7 hooked up to the Kubota baler, and had to hook up the PTO and the hydraulic hoses, and then these cords that come into the cab and plug into the monitor here and down here. So got this all hooked up now, and we're gonna go rake and bale that prairie hay that my dad put down a couple days ago. And then we'll turn on the PTO. And we'll get baling. Up it goes. This field is very rough, bouncing all over the place. Again, not a very big field, and I don't have the drone with me or a GoPro, so I'm gonna do the next best thing, and that's set my camera up on one of those straw bales, set my phone up there, and film a little bit for you guys sitting on the bale. So I ended up using this handle of my water jug. I stuck my phone in there and I set it on top of the bale, but then the wind blew it off the bale, so. All right, that's it for the field. Didn't make very tiny field. So we'll take what we can get. All right, back to the place.
Okay, we've been drilling and planting and doing lots of stuff. Today we're gonna make time to bin the seed wheat. So we're gonna put it in this bin here. And there'll be about two, three truckloads here. Okay, so we got the truck backed up right here. We got the auger lined up. I turned on the auger and a bunch of wheat came out the bottom side. So why buy a new $10,000 auger when you can fix it with a roll of $10 duct tape? So I got it all taped up. I don't think it'll leak anymore, and we'll get rolling here. Actually, I know all the jokes out there are about duct tape, but Gorilla Tape is way stronger. I'll say that. All right, Nathan brought over the grain cart. He's gonna just dump right into this truck as it's unloading. So that saves us a step. Okay, done with the grain cart, so Nathan's gonna back that into the corner of that shed. The combines are backed into this shed at the moment. Hey, front hitch for the win. I mean, it's just a welded on piece of metal, but it works pretty nice.
All right, it is Friday morning, and we are baling some alfalfa. So second cutting of alfalfa is usually our best one. This is some really nice quality hay right here. And usually this time of year, we're getting up pretty early to rake and bale this alfalfa. Dad's been out here for a while already. In years past, I remember getting up at 5:30, 6 o'clock to go rake and bale hay. And sometimes we'll do it really late at night, after dark. And so the reason for doing that is because it gets so crisp during the day when it's so hot and dry, that we can't, you know, it's not a good thing to bale it when it's like that. You want to bale it when it's not crispy but not wet, so kind of that sweet spot in the middle.
Well, I bet you can't guess what everyone's doing today.
That's right, I'm spraying. Kendal's drilling after he gets done with chores. Greg's planting. Dad's doing hay stuff. And we can see the end of everything. We can also see chances of rain in the forecast for this afternoon and tonight. So we are hoping that we get that rain. And I am going to try to get all the weed stubble covered up with the sprayer before it rains. But even if we don't get everything done and it rains, we're going to be very happy for the rain, because it's the time of year where every rain is a big rain and very important to all the crops. Everything we've drilled, you know, it'll help it come up nice. The corn, you know, really needs rain this time of year, and the soybeans are just kind of getting their legs under them and would really benefit from rain too.
All right, moving bales here. Dad's been moving most of the bales, so you probably haven't seen much footage of that. Bunch of straw, and then this whole field of alfalfa. He finished baling this morning and just immediately started moving bales. And he even bringing home some of the first cutting that didn't make it home during that wet spell. Okay, heading across the field. Got one in the back this time too. This is real nice alfalfa. This stuff, second and third cutting are sometimes the best quality. Okay, there goes the trailer. I'm gonna take a look at that millet before I head back. I've got to hook onto the rake still. Okay, so pulling out of where I got the rake, and so the haying operation has 3 or 4 parts of it. There's the swathing, the raking, the baling, the moving bales. Well, we try to do it with the least amount of trips over here as possible. So if we can, we do it with 2 tractors, and sometimes 3 trips, sometimes 2. We usually either unhook the rake or unhook the swath or whatever to run the baler, and then we also use one of those tractors while it's unhooked to move bales. And that way, we're not just going back and forth and back and forth. And if we ever pause in the middle of the cutting, like if we've swathed half of it or if we've baled half but the rest isn't ready yet, then we try to take, like my dad was taking a semi back and forth moving bales instead of driving a pickup back and forth. So anything to save that, it's like a 6-mile drive over here, which feels far for us with all that equipment. So we try to save trips when we can. I say 6 miles feels like a lot to me because growing up, majority of the time our alfalfa field was the field right next to my parents' house across the creek. So we stored the equipment in those sheds and we just drove it right across the creek, and that was all the farther we had to do. So whenever we were testing whether it was dry or not, you know, you could just drive across, and you know, if it wasn't ready to rake yet, you could just walk home, sleep for 30 more minutes, and then get up and rake, you know, something like that. But it doesn't work that way over this much farther from home.
All right, I have been out planting this field of double crop milo all day long since about 9 a.m. this morning after I went and filmed Dad baling that alfalfa. This is the last field for the planter. This is it, and I just have one more pass after this one. All right, there we go. Last little sliver of plant 22. It has been quite the run. On the first day of July, we didn't quite finish in June. First day of July, we got done. Some of you have asked if I'm planting any sunflowers this year, and with the birth of my daughter, I'm still trying to trim down on my commitments. And so one of the things that I decided not to do this year was the sunflowers, just because it's just one other thing. I think all 3 of us brothers have had to adjust a little bit to having kids, and you know, just working with your time commitments and your work life balance. And so that's one thing I cut out this year, and that doesn't mean that I'm not going to plant sunflowers next year. I just thought it'd be a good thing to do this year, take a year off. If you watched our videos last year, we planted till like July 10th, so we are ahead of schedule. There's a chance of rain tonight, 70% chance. We could really use a rain. We're very dry again. We only got a half inch the other day when it rained out wheat harvest. At least on most of our fields, we only got a half inch. So that is long gone, evaporated with this 98 degrees and windy weather. But 70% chance of rain tonight. If it rains tonight, it'll be a $1 million rain for this county. So we definitely need it, and praying for it. So here's hoping. I'm heading down my driveway. Gonna pressure wash this planter off, unhook it in the shed. It's been quite a spring / summer. We've been planting since mid-April to July 1st. A little different than in the ice states where they go for a couple weeks, maybe a month. So I think I'm good with not planting again until next spring.
So if anyone was wondering if the weeds died when I had that sprinkle shower come that one morning in one of our harvest vlogs, it appears that they did die. As long as it stays dead, those terrible pigweeds. So I think we're all right. And the forage sorghum is starting to come up, so that's good. It's Friday night, Friday evening, and we got done planting. We got the most important drilling done. We're gonna, 2 fields, we're gonna put in like a forage blend, cover crop, whatever you want to call it, that we'll run cows on this fall and into the winter. So we don't have that drilled yet, but we were kind of working on what mix we wanted to do and trying to focus on everything else. So we could be still drilling that right now, but everyone was tired. Well, I could say we could be if we had the seed, but we didn't get the seed ordered in time, and we were also all tired. Tomorrow's our 10-year anniversary concert, so we're looking forward to that. Anyways, it's been another big week, and another week where we got a lot done. We finished wheat harvest last Saturday, so it's been a week of double cropping and stuff, and I'm tired. I think we're all tired, so we're gonna rest and pray for rain. So I woke up to the sound of rain in the middle of the night. I shut down the pivot before I went to bed. Let's see what we got. 2:30. Wow, that is a big time July rain. Ziva thinks we're going to check irrigation. Sorry, it's not on. We don't got to check.
We're going to keep watching them, and over the last 10 years, we have made 29 music videos, and then hundreds, maybe thousands of other videos where we show what we're doing on the farm each day.
Harvest is the goal, it's the end zone. All the work we put in is like the seeds.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Check out our music videos linked in the description. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat, and explore our website, www.petersonfarmbrothers.com. See you guys next time.